going, folks? My name's Nick. I'm with the Permaculture vlog. My co-star Otto is just behind me. He's currently drinking a little bit of rainwater out of his little bowl there. But he's the garden cat. He's my co-star. And this is the Permaculture vlog. I think I already said that. I just want to welcome a lot of you. A lot of you guys are new. I'm very, very grateful, beyond grateful, and in fact lost for words, but I actually had my channel shared by Jeff Lawton, who's kind of my teacher, my mentor, the guy I look up to for everything that I'm doing here. So my channel's been shared by him, so that's super cool. So I think there's a lot of new people coming to the channel, so I want to welcome all of you who are just coming. For all my past subscribers and the ones who've been here the whole time, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you too just as much. Have some exciting news today. If you had checked out my social media channels, you'll know what it's all about, but if not, I don't want to ruin the surprise. So let's just get started and we'll see where it goes. Come here. Here's Otto. He's being a little shy today. I don't know what he's doing. But this is the garden cat, Otto. He is what many of my longtime followers call the star of the show. He's quite rambunctious, doesn't really mind getting wet at all, and loves to play. He's a good kitty. I think right now he's kind of excited to be outside and getting ready to hunt. You can see him down there, walking along the wall there, heading on down. Let's check out the rain gauge real quick. We've been getting pretty consistent rain, not too much, but consistent, and that's kind of what I like. So we're at about 0.1 there, just over 0.1. About 2.5 mil. So that means still don't need to water. That's always a plus. Oh, look who decided to come and join the party now, huh? Took you a minute. It took you a minute. What you doing, bud? What you doing? Good boy. You good boy. Yeah, you sweet kitty. Yeah, you good boy. All right, I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long for the surprise because that's what you're all waiting for anyway. So let's just go right on in and we'll see if we can show you. Heading in the chicken pen now. Here's my rooster. These two right here, these are the twins. This is the first batch of grown hens that we've raised from the initial two. So that rooster plus this hen right there, that's who I call my mama. And this one right here, this is Katie's mama. These two laid all the eggs that made the twins. And they're the twins down there. Now, after all that, we actually have a new generation of chicks. So now we have a new generation of chickens. Henry's in here sitting on the nest. Henry is quite a story. I think I have a couple different videos about Henry. I'll leave those linked above in case you are interested in them. For the longest time, we thought that Henry was in fact a rooster because I literally heard Henry call like a rooster and watched Henry call like a rooster. So that should have been a pretty good indication that Henry is a rooster. However, it eventually started being that she started to lay eggs, and then only like about 3 or 4 weeks after she started to lay eggs, she actually got broody like this. So she decided to sit on a clutch of eggs, and she's been sitting ever since. We noticed she was sitting on this clutch in pretty much on New Year's Day, the day before to New Year's Day. That's when we were like, oh, I think she's broody. And so she's been sitting, and now it's about today's the 21st, and yesterday was the first day we saw chicks. So the chicks are still hiding under mama. It's probably cold still for them because it's in the morning. There are, as of yesterday, 4 chicks, and we're hoping it could be up to 5 more. We don't actually know, and because we just are kind of waiting to see how many hatch. Because sometimes the other hens, when they go in, they'll lay. I think we might yeah, there we go. We're gonna start getting a peek at the chicks now. Looks like there's 2 of them starting to pop out. And yeah, I'm quite excited to see how many we end up seeing this morning. I've been thinking about it all night. So there's 2 right there, 2 little baby chicks. I feel like, you know, usually I'd try to be going back and forth between my face and the chicks, but I feel like most of you will be just fine watching just the chicks themselves. So, oh, this one's so cute. I'm gonna pan back to this one. Oh, there's a new one coming out. Oh, there we go. So that chick right there, the black chick, that one is actually Henry's offspring. And so that's actually a new hybrid because that chick is born of Henry, and Henry is like a tropical bird. It's the tropical kind of breed of chickens. So there's kind of 2 main kinds, the tropical kind and then more of like the regular homestead kind. all of our chickens are the homestead kind, but Henry is a tropical kind that was gifted to us by a friend, or by two friends really. And so well, it's interesting because now we actually have one of Henry's chicks here. I know it's Henry's because she's the only black hen we have. So that's Henry's chick born out of our rooster here. So that's going to be a little bit of a hybrid. So I'm really excited to see how that one turns out. So cute there. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Oh, look at you. Oh, there they come. I know this is kind of like chick cam, I guess. This is not really a TR Permaculture vlog. It's more of a chick cam. But that's the big news, guys. That's the big news. I'm going to take you around out in here so we can continue along with the vlog. I'll try to go back and check them out again before we leave. I really want to know if there's more than 4. There's 4 as of last night when I went to sleep. So that's kind of all I know, and that I'm hoping that there's a couple more that have hatched. Honestly, we can't really add too many more to our flock. My coop here and my run here, it's designed for about a flock size of about 8. We could probably get away with 10 or 12 if we really tried, and I built a little bit of extra coop space. They'd probably fit in there just fine, but typically we want 1 square foot per chicken in the coop itself. Mine is 8 square feet. So that tells me 8 is my maximum, right? So that tends to be the kind of go-to rule of thumb, assuming that's 1 square foot in the coop if they have an outside run. And then in the outside run, you want about 3 square feet per bird at least. I have way more than that. They have plenty of room here, and they enjoy themselves out here. You can see the chickens now. They're just out here enjoying. So these 2 are likely new mamas. Some of their eggs likely hatched, and of course the 2 mamas that are here have already gone through the process. This mama, this is why I call her my mama. She likes to come up and cuddle me. This is her thing. She comes up, and anytime I'm kind of kneeling down like this, she likes to come and just put her head across my leg there and get some pets and get some love. This is why I call this one my mama. And she's always done this since a kid. The only time she didn't do it is when she was the last one to sit on the clutch of eggs. So she's the one that raised the other 2, the twins we call them, the newer hens here. Although now we have even newer ones. But she's the one that raised them, and she was quite mean to me when that was happening. I think I actually have like one of my compost videos. I'll leave it linked above. I'll find the one and leave it linked above for you guys, because it's pretty funny. I was trying to turn a compost pile, and the chicks were new, and I just kind of gotten the compost going just before the chicks came. And yeah, this mama, she was all about pecking me and getting me out of the way because she didn't want her chicks to be hurt. But now she's back to her regular love and her regular niceness. Yeah, you go mama. You go mama. And that's life on this homestead so far. Super excited about that new chicks. That's really the main news I want to share with you guys. There's 1 or 2 other projects I'm going to show you, but that's really what I wanted to share with you guys. We're so excited to have some new chickens to join the flock. Have a little bit more variety in our breed stock, because now we actually have some of the darker ones. We'll see, and when it ends up becoming, and whether they're actually male or female, etc. Because at this point we only need 1 rooster, so any of the excess roosters, they're going to end up becoming food likely, or gifts to people if they need roosters or something. But likely it's going to be a harvest, and it's going to be our future food. And any of the hens will likely keep as long as it's under 8. I can only really keep 8 here. Any more than that, I'm going to start having to do a lot more management of this space and make sure I bring in lots of carbon to add lots of bedding, etc. It's just going to add a lot to my management time if we end up adding more to that. So I'd rather keep it at that kind of 8 level. I hear a little bit more activity behind me with Henry, so I'm going to show you. We're going to go in there for just one more little peek before we head out and check out the rest of the gardens and a couple little projects I want to show you. We got 3 right there. One of those looks pretty new. That might be one of the new ones. Oh, there's another one hiding back there. This is some of my favorite times on the homestead when we have the new chicks coming in, and it's just exciting. I mean, it's exciting for Henry there. I mean, Henry's now going to start being a little protective and cautious and everything. But luckily, Henry was raised by humans, so I suspect she's going to be less feisty than my mama when she was a hen and trying to really attack me and everything. But that one right there, right in front, that one looks pretty new. I have a feeling that one might be a new one, so we might be up to 5. But Oh, we don't know. Hey, what are you doing pecking at your... You can see here inside the coop, whenever I have hens, I try to make it really, hens sitting I should say, I try to make it really easy for them to you know, care for themselves and care for the chicks. So you can see there I actually have soaked feed. It's basically just the pelleted feed that I give the rest of the chickens, but I just soak it. So that's there for them. So that's going to give them a little bit of water and food. So mom can just reach over there and grab that at any point and bring it in. I've watched her do that quite a few times. And I also have water in here, and that's actually water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, just to give those chicks a little bit of an immune boost right when they're starting off. Just want to make sure that they're healthy at the start. More than likely we're going to lose a chick or two. That's just kind of the normal process. Some of them just aren't quite fit to be alive. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the reality. And especially here in the tropics, there's so much, it's wet, hot, humid, cool at night, etc. It's a kind of rough atmosphere to jump into right away. So will be interesting. I actually had to add all this hardware cloth. I added all this cloth right here, this stuff. I added all this just last night when I noticed that the chicks were here. So you can see right now I'm gonna have to be in here and cleaning of this coop much more than I usually would, because I usually have a much wider opening as chicken wire underneath this. So usually all the poop can just fall right out. All the manure can just go right down. It ends up falling down here. And this is where I put all my stuff that takes a long time to break down. They manure on it. It starts to break down, and then I use that for a compost pile. So this is where all that poop would usually fall, all that manure would usually fall. But right now, we got a lot of it in the coop because I block everything off so that the chicks can come out and walk around without getting stuck or falling through or being scared. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more cleaning. You can see I also add a little bit of a perch system in here for the other chickens, since I took away their perches, which are usually these 2x4s, or really they're 2x2s right here underneath. That's what they're usually perching on at night. So I just add a couple logs in there, or little sticks in there, so they have something to perch on at least while we get this system going and while we get these chicks established. All right, we'll leave you alone, Mama. Good job. We're so proud of you. Looks like someone's pretty antsy to go lay an egg. She just sprinted up these stairs here. Go ahead, Mama. It's okay. You can go lay an egg. It's okay. So one of the twins, so you can see when they're raised by, you see how she kind of runs away from me? She freaks out. So they're raised by their mama. That's very unlike the ones that we have. Sorry about that. That's unlike the ones that we raised. We raised my mama, the one that was cuddling with me, and Katie's mama. Those are the two that we call, and then are the initial ones. And we kind of raised those when they were chicks. We had them in a little cage, and we watched them, we fed them, and all that kind of stuff. So they're kind of more used to humans. They imprinted on humans. The twins imprinted on their mama, and their mama was very ferocious and wouldn't let me near them. So they're not really against me being around, but they certainly don't just let me walk up and touch them and pick them up like the other chickens do. The rooster and I are best buds. We get along fine. He likes to, you know, play tough and all that, but I can go right on in there and pick him up, and he doesn't kind of try to get away too much at all. He just lets it happen, and he's just fine with it. So that's the nice thing about raising chicks, you know, in some sort of chick raising area where you don't have the mama watching over them. But the nice thing about this way is I don't have to do any work because Henry will do all the work. I just have to make sure they have food and water, and then just check on them occasionally, make sure they didn't get into any shenanigans like little chicks do on a pretty regular basis. So that's it for the chick story. Really excited for that. Hope all of you who are new to the channel, you got some excitement out of that. That really makes me excited as a homesteader or backyard homesteader back here. Whenever we have the new life entering the farm, it's always fun. And it's kind of a fun time to do that too. And in January, it seems like an odd time to be getting new chicks, but hey, here we are. So for those of you new who are still with us here, actually stuck around this long, I'm in Puerto Rico, based in Puerto Rico, in Luquillo, Puerto Rico. It's actually a rainforest, so that right over there, that's El Yunque Rainforest, which is the only national rainforest, I think, or the only tropical rainforest, I should say, in the national forest system in the States. Sorry, the hens are being a little loud right now. I think they're all kind of confused about Henry with chicks and everything. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You can go when it's your turn. See, what's happening right now is there's two hens that want to lay at the same time, which only leads to loud noises. And my lady Katie, right now, Oh, it's okay. Yeah, you go out there. You stay in here. Sorry about that. My lady Katie, she's teaching right now. She teaches English online, and she's currently teaching. So if I'm back here and I start hearing that, I like to clear it up for her, just to make her life a little easier, not having to hear those chickens squawk in the background while she's teaching. But yeah, I'm in Puerto Rico. Rainforest is right there. So I live in a tropical rainforest climate. So I usually have adequate water supply, and more than likely I actually end up having too much water. So my whole goal on this property is to control the water. Sorry, these chickens. Basically control the water flow so it's not erosive, and also does not oversaturate all my garden beds. So that's kind of my challenge here in my space. I do have perfect aspect. South is that way. So I pretty much have a perfect aspect in terms of solar aspect. Here in the tropics, of course, that's in the wintertime. In the summertime, it goes straight up in the air. It's really, really hot. And that's why you see all these papayas growing straight up. So this is a technique you would end up using in the tropics or the arid climate. You would not use that kind of technique in the temperate climate. Mama, I know, you want to lay an egg. Someone else is in there right now. You just gotta wait your turn. Okay. They're used to normally having 2 egg boxes. Of course, Henry has been taking up one of them for 3 weeks, so they have not had as many egg boxes as they usually have, hence all the ruckus and everything. All right, so talking about this high shade, this is like a pretty common strategy in the tropics, but you can also couple that with production. So you can see there's 2 papayas that are starting to grow there. So papayas are a really good tree to use for this kind of strategy because they don't have any branches. They don't have any side branches. They just go straight up, send leaves off the side, and then that's it. And they flower right on their stem. So it's really easy to have papayas as tall overstory shade for that middle of the day heat in the summertime. In the wintertime, it's not so bad right now. So I'm actually taking away leaves to maximize all the sunlight I get to my beds. But in the middle of summer, that little extra shade really helps those plants survive. Another good tree to use is a banana or a plantain. You can see we have one here that's actually flowering. I feel like a lot of you may not have ever seen a plantain or banana flower. So that's what they look like before they turn into bananas or plantains. This is the flower itself right here. This is what's gonna get pollinated, and the long tube, that's where they're actually that's gonna end up becoming the banana. Really cool. I love sharing this when I do find them, when they are kind of flowering back here. And you can see this is kind of the base here. So this will just keep opening up, keep exposing new flowers, and then these will be pollinated. Eventually they'll stop. This thing will just keep growing down, but it will no longer be pollinated. And at that point we can cut that off if we want and use it. You can actually eat that apparently. Apparently it's really good for the chickens, love it, the banana flowers and everything. And apparently we can eat it too, high in potassium. Apparently you can make products for it with the garden, products for the garden with it. So yeah, lots of things you can do with it. Really cool to kind of have that right on site. And I don't know, I just love I love the look of them. So these ones right here, these are still being pollinated. The one up here, I don't know if we're gonna see it as well, but yeah, let's see, that's a better angle. Those ones right there, those have been pollinated and they're starting to turn into the plantains, bananas. So these are actually a hybrid, I've learned, of a plantain and a banana. The local kids apparently call them planana, like plantain, banana, planana. So that's what that is. So it's kind of thicker than a banana. It's similar to a regular kind of thicker of the plantain. It tastes like an amarillo, which is a type of plantain. It's sweeter though. It's really good for fresh eating or for cooking or whatever you want to use it for. So really nice to have those on the property. We actually just harvested a rack from one of the other trees right next to it and have been using that for tortillas and everything. It's been very delicious. Earlier I was speaking about Jeff Lawton, my mentor. So he's actually launching his permaculture design course, his online permaculture design course. So if that's something you're interested in, when that does start to launch, when the public launch comes out, I'll leave a link. I'll try to come back and add a link below here. I'll also make a couple other videos during that time just to make sure that you guys can access that course and check it out if you want. I highly recommend it. I actually have a testimonial video. I'll leave that linked above if you want to check it out and see what I have to say about the course. Obviously I love it, and I'm now joining the team as a teaching assistant and as part of the actual team for that course. So I'm very grateful and very excited to have that as part of my journey, and it's really an honor to me. I'm grateful. I'm just kind of beyond words. I'm very excited about this. This is all kind of this whole him sharing my video and everything was a complete surprise to me as of last night. So it's very exciting, and I just really appreciate the opportunity to be able to help new people learn more about permaculture and join that online permaculture design course. Do check out the testimonial if you're interested, and leave questions below. If you have any questions about the course or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. I'm very happy to answer anything like that. Otto saw me walk down here, so he has shown up again. You good boy. Yeah, you good boy. It's okay. That's just a chicken. Yeah, you're sweet. That's one of my favorite things he does. This little tail wagging squint at me. Oh, you good boy. You good boy. Yeah. Oh, he cracks me up. All right, so we're gonna head down to my lowest bed on the property here. So you can see here I have a temporary fence here, and that's just in case the chickens do get out. This in here is actually their little run area, so I let them come in here on a regular basis. Let's open this up. Here you go, bud. Go ahead. The cat wants to join the adventure, I guess, so we'll let him go first. Come on, let's go. Keep moving. You're in the way. You're in the way. So you can see right here, it looks really gross and like I'm ignoring it and stuff, but this is actually my long-term soil building area. So as the chickens come out, they scratch. So all the excess weeds and stuff, if I ever need to clean up along the fence lines or anything like that, lots of overgrowth here in the tropics, I throw that all down right here. And over time, the chickens basically scratch that around, and they build up soil slowly but surely. I also build compost piles within my chicken coop, so all that kind of extra compost material, they scratch it out and it comes down this way, which helps this area turn into soil long term as well. So this area right here is my soil building area. This one's a long-term soil building. Compost piles, those can be really quick. This can be as little as 18 days or even 10 days. This is more of like a year-long process. At the end of that year-long process, though, you have quite a bit of soil. I actually harvested enough soil to fill this entire bed when I first did it. I actually have a video on that. I'll leave that linked above if you want to check it out. But this whole bed I built just out of kind of recycled, reused materials, with the exception of the fencing here. All this wood here came from a staircase I took down. There's a staircase railing you can see there. All the posts are just from right on site from the moringa tree. So all this bed right here, this is all pretty much on site made, and all the soil that's filling this bed came from right there. So I'm actually building soil. I can move that into this bed, and that actually creates brand new soil. Next time I build soil, I could put it right back in this bed, or I could take this soil and move it uphill, up onto the top of my property to keep that kind of nutrient cycling happen. So it starts down here, move it back up there. Over time, it'll kind of slowly move down this way, kick down, kick down, kick down, probably end up back here. And that just kind of keeps the nutrient cycling happening on my property. So that's the chicken run from the bottom there. And you can see right here, this is actually a new banana here. So this is actually, I think it's called a Jamaican Red. It's a very good kind of starchy banana, sweet banana, very tasty. They take actually about 2 years to produce, so we're not going to see a product from that. Maybe we might even be living here by the time that produces, but that's okay, because you plan long term and you get those systems established, because best time to plant a tree was yesterday, next best time right now. So we got that from a friend. Mom actually brought that from one of her friends, and came back here and started planting. I was like, okay, Mom, let me make sure it's in the right spot. So I took over the planting for her, but this one should do just fine and really nice. It's just kind of similar to these plantains in terms of growth style, what they like, and you can see how well these plantains are liking it right here on this hill. Back to this bed, I actually harvested a bunch of Asian greens. I did a massive harvest on Saturday or Sunday. I actually honestly can't remember the day. I came out here and harvested, and then I just seeded in here green beans in this whole kind of front row here. So we should have some nice green beans coming up in the somewhat near future. I'd expect to see them popping up in a couple days. In the back there, a little bit more crazy, we actually have amaranth right here, amaranth greens. These are for the greens that are growing them. That's just a tropical green. Right here, this is chayote. This is a perennial vine. Produces like a mix between like a zucchini and a cucumber of a fruit, or a vegetable, I should say. And I basically started that right down here at the base of these stalks, and it grew up this way, And you can see now I'm trading it to go along the fence line here. It's going right across. There's another one that's coming up on this side. Hopefully that'll come up. And I just want that to take over this entire fence line. And that's going to end up becoming hopefully a productive plant for us. And it is perennial, so it will be able to last hopefully long term. We also have this right here. This here is it's called winged bean. It's a type of bean, but it is also a perennial, a tropical kind of bean. It makes a much bigger seed pod than other ones, but you can actually see it's flowering right now. Actually, maybe you can't see that because the camera's focusing on the wrong thing. But it's flowering right now. You can see down here. And really excited to I've never actually had this kind of bean, so I'm hoping that one of those actually gets pollinated so I can actually see what the bean looks like. But apparently it's a much thicker bean. It has wings on the side of it. So if you're interested in that, follow the channel, like the channel, follow the video, like this video, all those things, right? But if you follow the channel, then you'll see all the updates, and you can actually click on the little notification bell thing if you want to get notified anytime I add a new video, in case you want to stay tuned for that story or any of those stories here. The chick story, just my permaculture journey. My goal for this channel is really just to show you what I'm doing. I focus mainly on the tropics, but I always include general permaculture education. That's really important to me, just to be able to teach pretty much everyone who's here watching something about permaculture. But I do live in the tropics, and there's actually there's a pretty big absence of information about tropical permaculture out there. Just not so much kind of organized information about it. So I'm just trying to fill that niche a little bit, and just kind of provide that information. Since I'm living in the tropics, I do permaculture, and I'm already doing it in my backyard, so I might as well share the journey with you guys. So really my goal is to show you guys what I'm doing so that you can learn from that. Whether it's something you just learn something new, you learn about a new plant, you learn from my mistakes when I screw something up and I have to redo it or something. Hopefully you won't have to do that by watching my channel. So that's what I'm here to do. That's my goal. And you guys watching, you're my community, and I appreciate you so much for being here and watching this video. If you actually made it to the end, I know they're the super fans who are the ones that actually make it to the end here. So if you do make it to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. You are really the super fans, and I really couldn't do this all without you. So thanks so much. That's it for me, guys. I already did all the talks about subscribing and all that, but if you have a video that you think is really helpful for a community, please share that video. Like the channel, share the channel, all those things. That really helps me get the word out there and get a little bit more reach. So I really appreciate you guys, and until next time, have a good one.